friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Marissa here at Joyful Mother, and I'm so excited to have you back in my home today. And I'm going to be working on Christmas trees. That's going to be my main focus today. I may be doing some garland and just a little bit of decorate with me, but my focus is my trees. So I have several different styles for you. I'm going to be doing our main tree and more of that nostalgic, the golds, the poinsettias. It really goes back. I look back, we're about to celebrate our 10-year anniversary, and the same colors that I loved 10 years ago in our Christmas wedding, I'm kind of going back to those. So I'm going to show you a few clips from that. I can't believe it's been 10 wonderful years. But also I'm going to be showing you more of a natural look in my bedroom, then more of the Nutcracker, the sugar plum fairy, that look in the girls' room, and then a really special tree in our dining room, which is I call it our memory tree. So each year we add a special ornament to it, and it is growing, and I think you're really going to enjoy that. So stick around to have just some very inexpensive thrifty decor ideas for your Christmas trees. So thank you for joining, and I hope as always that you can find some inspiration here. So we're gonna start here on my mantle with a little bit of a decorate with me. So I have those two beautiful garlands from Hobby Lobby that I just layered and added some battery powered lights to. And then I hung my bells with a command strip. I have these wood beads that I just placed on top of the bell. And then I added a ribbon that I just tied just to add that little vintage touch of the bows, and bows are so trendy this year and I love it. I added some flameless candles on these candlesticks, and I actually ended up painting with some rub and buff. I'm going to show you that, some candlesticks that actually my mom found for me at the Dollar Tree. So this is just a thrifty hack you can do, but this rub and buff goes such a long way. It ended up being a little more messy than I intended. You just put it on a paper towel though and put it on, and it turned out really cute. But I did that after the fact. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I look at my decor I think, okay, what little details can I add? And I just kind of change things here and there. But here are some things on the other side of the mantle, just a flameless candle, a Christmas ornament, and then a little tree from Hobby Lobby, and then of course that little painting that we did the watercolor in. So I really love my mantle this year. It's very simple, but I really enjoy it. It complements my tree, but I'm just tweaking it here and love how it turned out. So I'm moving on to my Christmas tree. Now this is a very non-trendy tree, and I'm going to show you how I can make it beautiful. It is old, but I told you I was going to share some wedding pictures of my inspiration for my decor for this tree. I did the chocolates and the berries and some of that deep red or burgundy, and I love that is reflected in my decoration this year. But this tree needed some help. My mom gave it to me, and she had purchased it at a yard sale years ago. I've had it for about 5 years now, and I love it's skinny and it fits here, but the lights this year, oh my goodness, they gave me lots of trouble. So one day we may be replacing it, but I really love how it turned out. But here I actually cut up a garland that I got on clearance after Christmas last year, and just am sticking those real life branches in. Here's a peek of some of my decor. There are those poinsettias that I talked about. They have just a touch of gold, and they're a velvet poinsettia, and I really love, they're a deep red. And then this was some ribbon that I made last year. It was a My Texas Home ribbon. They do not have it this year. They have some things that are similar. And then this is of course a gold, almost like a champagne gold from Hobby Lobby. So I just did a 3-tier bow with a little tail and put pipe cleaners around it. I'll show you how I make those in some other trees that I'm going to do in a little while. I also made this bow last year, and I was really surprised that I was able to fluff it and reuse it. But this is my tree topper. This velvet ribbon that I used that has this little detail. It adds so much to this tree, and I just love it. It's so pretty once it gets on there. So that was a look at some of the berries that I'm going to use, and then I have these ornaments, and I scored so big on these last year. I bought like 1 pack, I think, but then after Christmas they went 90% off, and I got the big ones, and they have added such a depth to my tree this year. So pretty. So there's a hack for you. After Christmas, Hobby Lobby, 90% off. So I started out by adding those ornaments just as like a inner layer, because this tree is very sparse and it needs just some depth to it and some different textures. So you'll see me just sticking those in here, and I'm gonna go kind of slow on this tree, and then my other trees I'm gonna go a little quicker. So if you want to fast forward to my natural tree, go right ahead, or my whimsical, but then I just take these, and they added a little sparkle. I put my tree topper on with that beautiful bow on top, and just had it kind of trail down the tree. And then I added just some tails throughout the tree. I just put like a pop cleaner on the end, and just put those in as if the ribbon was just flowing down the entire tree. From the sweet ladies who have taught me how to decorate trees, they always say to go in like a triangle or diamond shape. So you'll see that here in these bows, that I just kind of go in a pattern, and it is more appealing to the eye to have things in different shapes. So I'm going in with 2 different bows here, but keeping that same triangle and diamond pattern. And then those beautiful poinsettias, I think I ended up putting like 6 in the tree, but that was plenty. Again, keeping that triangle pattern. This is an inverted triangle. And then adding some of the trendy bows, just tying those on the stems of the tree. But these just add, I think, that little vintage touch to a tree. Then I'm going to add in these berries. I have a gold and a cream and then a deep red, and I'm just sticking these in here for another texture, letting them trail off the branches of the tree. Just adding this little bit of texture adds so much to a tree. Final step is putting on ornaments, and again kind of sticking to that pattern of the triangle. This was a pine cone ornament, just a little bit of shimmer on it. I will be adding some velvet ornaments in a little while. Those added a warmth to the tree that I didn't know I even needed, but they turned out so pretty. This process takes a lot of time, so I'm going to go quickly through it and then show you the end product. These bells were actually decoration in my wedding, and I love to add those every year. I've put different ribbons on them to match my decor, but I love them on my tree. to our dining room tree, which is one of our family's favorite spots. We always try to do this tree together as a family tradition. It has ornaments from each year just to remember some special things that happen each year. We try to add ornaments to it, and this tree tells a story of our family. And if you haven't done something like this and you have littles, I highly encourage you to do it. So all of those wonderful homemade ornaments that are so precious, you can keep on the tree. This particular ornament we got the year that we had 2 miscarriages, just to remember our babies. Then you see the Honda sign. We were in a wreck, and the Lord kept us safe, and so we wanted to remember that. Then we see the tassel was worth the hassle when we graduated 2020. Stunk, I think we can all agree. So these just reflect some things, some memories for our family. So we try to get one each year and add to the tree. It could be a little tacky in a designer's point of view, but I love the sweet memories that this tree holds. Moving on to my girls' room. This is such a fun space. We do kind of the whimsical, the nutcracker, some of those pastel colors, and it's so fun to do this. I actually have been looking for some throw pillows to add this year, and I found these adorable Christmas tree ones. They're just very simple, but they match so perfectly. And so I just added that. It was the only thing I added to their bed, and I flipped over their comforters. They're reversible, and they happen to just match. So we flipped those over, and then we decorate a sweet little tree. This tree and the tree in my bedroom are very cheap. Like, I think they're like $35 at Walmart. But I'm going to show you that you can make a very cheap tree. Again, you can make it beautiful just by adding ribbon and some more velvet ornaments. So I'm going to be showing you how I do that ribbon. First thing you want to do is put the spool of ribbon in something that's not going to make it roll throughout your house. But then you just loop it and pinch and pleat, I think is the correct terms. And then you cut it, and you can get a pipe cleaner. If you are a homeschool mom, you know you have those lying around. So you can also use like the greenery wire, but I just use a pipe cleaner and put it on there and then stick it in the tree. And these add so much. So you can make these double, triple, quadruple, I guess. But just adding these and then pinch them and pleat them, and there you have yourself a very simple, quick bow. So there's quite a variety on this tree. I actually had some ribbon left over from last year, and both of those are at Hobby Lobby this year. So I did 2 different styles of ribbon, and then those large green sparkly ornaments actually came in one of those packs that were 90% off. They didn't match my big tree, but they match both my bedroom and this tree. So keep that in mind whenever you're out looking for ornaments, that you don't have to use them all on one tree. You can split up the packages if you need to. But I did find these velvet ornaments at Hobby Lobby last year. They don't carry them this year, and I'm kind of sad about it. But I just added a little ribbon to them, and I love the results of this tree. Now to my last tree for today, and if you're keeping count, this is number 4. So I'm just gonna go quickly. I used some natural elements. Those were some that I use all year, and I just stuck them in my tree just to add more of that neutral texture as a filler in this tree. Then just I had some wood beads there, and then these natural, just to add, if you can add texture, especially to a cheap tree that's not very full, it adds so much. You'll see here that I did add some, these are some bows I had last year. I didn't love the green, the dark kind of green for this year in this tree, so I ended up switching out and had some of that gold left over from my big tree, so I ended up recreating some of those bows, but you'll see that here. And then I just layered those with a ribbon that had a cute pattern, very simple. But this tree I'm going to go very fast, and I'm just going to show you the end result. I'll use a lot of those velvet ornaments from Hobby Lobby. I cannot say how much they added to my trees this year. And again, I split them up kind of between the different trees throughout my house. But I love that this neutral, it's a very calm tree, and it turned out really beautiful. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you is my kitchen garland, and this was again a hand-me-down garland, and I was pretty exhausted at this point in the day, but we just kept with it, and I love how this turned out. That was a beautiful orange garland to go along with my homemade oranges. That one I actually picked up at home, and it is so realistic, crazy, but this made such a mess. But I loved how this garland turned out. All the different elements, you'll see more in my home tour details on it. But my girls finally, they got home, and this little face was worth all the trouble for the day, and just to see their little faces light up for the decoration brought me so much joy. So I hope in your home that you can find some things that just bring back sweet memories, and that you may found some inspiration in my home today of some things that you can add, but most importantly, that we, as we do all these decorations, that we remember that Jesus Christ is the reason for this beautiful season. So I hope that you have a wonderful time decorating, and I will see you soon.